It's so hard to try to bury a child before Christmas.
News 4 Nightbeat with Mort Grimm and Carmen Harlan, Bernie Smilovitz and Chuck Gadegan.
Hello, everybody. You know the song, I'll Be Home for Christmas. Well, tonight, travelers at Detroit Metro may want to rewrite those lyrics to say, I'll be a bit late. The problem is a blanket of dense fog that is slowing down air traffic and causing lots of delays, not to mention headaches. Our coverage begins tonight with News 4's Keith Oppenheim, keeping track of the comings and goings at Metro. Keith, how bad is it?
Well, the airport is open tonight, Rich, despite the fact that there's only 3/16 of a mile visibility out here. Planes are taking off and they are landing. But if any of you are planning to go to one of the gates tonight, one piece of advice: take along some aspirin.
I'm in the airport, and it's a zoo here, and the airplane hasn't landed, and there's no gate for it to go to, so I don't know when I'm going to be getting out of here.
Getting in and getting out of Metro was pretty tricky in the midst of the pre-Christmas fog. Take a look at the planes outside. As the camera moves right, you'll just barely see a plane taking off. Most of the time, we could only hear them.
Right now, we are in an indefinite delay situation.
The loudspeakers and the terminal monitors shouted out that nasty word, delayed. For some, the only way to deal with the stress was to get a drink. How long have you been here over at the bar?
About an hour and a half now.
Really? You can do a lot of drinking in that time, I would think.
I've been pretty well, just relaxing from this point.
Of course, some people weren't very relaxed, and you probably wouldn't be either if you had to fight all that traffic just getting to the terminal. Where are you heading?
Marco Island.
Oh, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to get in line. Getting in line was what everyone seemed to be forced to, because one of the effects of all the delays has been crowded concourses filled with people waiting for both departures and arrivals. One group of people we ran into have been waiting 3 hours for a flight from Hartford. The plane apparently circled over Detroit for a while, was moved to Cleveland because of the fog, and as of about 10 after 9, that plane is still in Ohio.
We should consider the fact that as long as the plane arrives safely and people arrive safely, you don't mind waiting.
Yeah, well, that's keeping it in the proper perspective.
We hope so.
But just remember, amidst all the hectic delays and confusion, there is a payoff: reuniting with a family for Christmas. Now, Rich, interestingly enough, I spoke to a pilot for Northwest who was heading to San Francisco tonight, the fog capital of America, if you will, and he said the weather there is clear. One more thing, and Sister Janet Zolkowski, who we heard from just a few moments ago, she talked about how it's really better to be safe than sorry. I think a lot of people are taking on that attitude tonight and feeling, well, since there was the terrible tragedy here just a couple weeks ago, it's better to be patient, and I think people are taking on that attitude.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sure they're being very careful with planes even on the ground tonight. I was wondering, Keith, whether I take it that the weather at other airports is having an effect on this one. Is that correct?
Absolutely. Chicago, Atlanta, and New York, all those airports have had either pretty dense fog or drizzle, and that's definitely having an impact on what's happening here at Metro tonight.
All right, Keith, thanks very much. And we have a little more information on that. Metro is just one of many airports tonight reporting long delays. In New York, both LaGuardia and Kennedy are blanketed with fog, as well as Newark, Boston, Atlanta, Chicago, and Minneapolis. If you're expecting friends or relatives from any of those cities, plan on waiting a while at the airport terminal. And travel troubles on the ground as well. Hundreds of Greyhound passengers found themselves stranded in Denver because of a heavy snowfall there. We are told buses there are moving again, but many are not on schedule.
And the weather conditions have been causing a lot of foul-ups on Detroit roadways. The police believe that fog may have been the cause of an accident involving a fire truck in Detroit. The fire rescue truck was answering a call for help when it struck a passing car that had run a red light. The truck slammed into a light pole and then smashed into the front porch of a house. The driver of the truck is in temporary serious condition at Detroit Receiving Hospital. The driver of the car was treated and released, and he was also ticketed for running the red light. A Sterling Heights man backed out of his garage, went straight across the street, and smashed into his neighbor's living room. The car finally stopped when it crashed into an antique piano. The family's Christmas tree and presents were destroyed, and the police say if it weren't for that piano, the car would have gone through the house and out the back wall. There were surprisingly no injuries. And on I-75 in Troy, an out-of-control semi-truck plowed into a guardrail and then slipped in between two bridges. The cab of the truck and 2 passengers were left dangling over Maple Road. Police blocked off Maple for about 2 hours while the wreckers worked to remove the truck. Both passengers managed to free themselves and suffered only minor injuries.
And depending on where you may be driving overnight, through the night, you're going to run into all kinds of different weather problems. Let's head into Weather Watch 4 right now. Chuck, what's it looking like?
Well, we have the problems with the air travelers, as you mentioned, and now drivers. I've been getting calls all night, people wanting to take off for the weekend, get an early start on the holidays. Take a look at this close-up map. The gray area is fog. Visibility's in that area about 0 to half a mile. Obviously slow going. The green is going to be rain. Heavier rains have fallen across Ohio and Indiana, where there has been some flooding, so there could well be some standing water on roadways, including I-75 southward. If you're driving west toward Chicago, the orange is freezing rain. Also, that extends into the UP. That will be moving toward the Chicago area, where now they just have drizzle and fog. And again, that will provide for some slick going. Farther west, there's snow in the air. The leading edge of Arctic air is now just about in north-central Illinois. So if you're driving or flying to the west, you're going to encounter bitter cold temperatures and some wind. If you're staying close to home, fog is the problem. That will be the problem statewide all the way through the morning. All it means is use your low beams and take it easy. It looks like that cold air will be here by late in the day tomorrow. We'll talk about how that will affect us through the holiday as well. Back to you.
Yeah, taking it easy is good advice. Thank you, Chuck. We'll talk with you a little bit later on. Well, you're going to be weathering a different kind of storm this weekend if you're shopping. The rush of last-minute shoppers in search of those Christmas bargains, of course. Thousands decked the malls tonight, and many remained open late tonight to accommodate last-minute rushes. Now, even though some analysts say this has been a flat Christmas season for retailers, there's bound to be plenty of activity this weekend as folks search for the perfect gift. Many stores will have extended hours Saturday and Sunday, but remember, those same stores may close early on Monday so employees can enjoy Christmas Eve at home.
Detroit Mayor Coleman Young's niece is in trouble with the law. Kathy Volson Curry was arrested today. She is charged with failing to appear before a federal grand jury investigating the Detroit Secret Service Fund. It's believed that officers paid from that fund guarded her mother's home on San Juan Street. Curry is free tonight on a $25,000 personal bond. This is a horrible Christmas season for a Highland Park woman. Her little daughter was shot and killed this week in a drug murder. And tonight, one of 2 men wanted for her brutal murder has been arrested by Highland Park police. A second suspect is still at large for this crime.
The results of their actions was a message to the 16-year-old and his father, without getting into details.
Okay, but you're talking about intent here, intent to kill.
Most definitely.
Highland Park police say 5-year-old Catherine Staples died because 2 drug dealers were trying to send this message to a member of their own organization: steal our drugs and money, and you or someone in your family will die. So far, police only have a picture of one of the suspects, 21-year-old Roscoe Melvin Owens from Detroit's East Side. Police have an arrest warrant for Owens and his 22-year-old brother, DeAndre, on counts of murder, assault, breaking and entering, and felony firearms. Investigators say the suspects came to the 200 block of Ferris to get even with the 16-year-old who stole drugs and $300 cash. The suspects reportedly fired numerous shots inside and outside the house. Catherine Staples died from a gunshot wound to the chest.
It's so hard to try to bury a child before Christmas and try to get your life back in order within 2 or 3 days to try to live for the other 2 that I have still.
Doris Long is Catherine's mother and a recovering crack addict. She says her daughter died because she allowed her live-in boyfriend's 16-year-old son, a crack dealer, to stay at the house. And now she pleads for anyone to stay away from drugs.
If you got enough sense out there, please get off of it. Put the drug dealers out of business. Get them out of here, because I lost my child because of drugs. Something that I feared 11 months ago. Something I feared I would have lost him if I didn't. But still, I got my life together and I still lost my baby to drugs.
Roscoe Owens was arrested just an hour ago. He's going to be arraigned tomorrow morning. Catherine Staples will be buried tomorrow, along with a doll that her mother was going to give her for Christmas.
One gloomy sort of Christmas story has a happy ending tonight. Yesterday, a thief stole a van loaded with Christmas presents bound for families in a Detroit child abuse program. The folks at the Barrett Human Services Family Center feared that their clients would have to do without a Christmas. But tonight, there are gifts at the center being readied for distribution. thanks to an overwhelming public response to stories about the theft. The center received toys and donations of $10,000, and all the families involved will have gifts for Christmas.
Happy ending.
Yeah, real nice to hear that.
A naval disaster tonight has left at least 2 sailors dead and many others missing. That's ahead on the Nightbeat.
Plus, Iraqis prepare for an all-out war tonight, going so far as to evacuate Baghdad. And fans across the state are erecting monuments to Ernie Harwell.
I didn't know what to get anyone for the holidays. Then it hit me. I can make everyone happy with Blockbuster gift certificates. They can use them to get all kinds of great movies.
Driving Miss Daisy, winner, Best Picture of the Year. Best Actress, Jessica Tandy, and 2 additional Academy Awards. Look for the most celebrated movie in America from Warner Home Video, rated PG.
Blockbuster Video. Give the gift of entertainment.
A low-fat diet for cars? There are people in GE Plastics with some ideas that could help you lose a few hundred pounds. Pick our brains. A headlight that's brighter, lasts much longer, and can be virtually any shape a designer can dream up. There are people in GE Lighting who could help you make one. Pick our brains. If you're a car maker or supplier, talk to us. GE Automotive.
It's the time of the year for a special guest. Waiting for Santa is always the best.
A time to remember and tie up loose ends, coming together with family and friends.
There's fun in big games, and that's just a start. During this season, we're all kids at heart.
Glad tidings are shared in so many ways. There's no place like home for the holidays. From our home to yours, Channel 4 wishes you a happy home for the holidays.
A U.S. naval disaster tonight. A boat ferrying about 100 sailors from shore leave back to their ship capsized off Haifa, Israel. A Pentagon spokesman says at least 2 seamen are dead. Now, this is video we're just getting in of those who were rescued. 36 are hospitalized. 25, though, are still missing. The boat apparently was bringing the sailors back to the aircraft carrier, the USS Saratoga, when that accident happened. The Saratoga is part of the multinational force opposing Iraq in that region. It is still not known what caused the boat to capsize.
Iraq's Saddam Hussein tonight is saying he will not pull his troops out of Kuwait by January 15th. That's the deadline set by the United Nations, of course. Hussein told of his intentions during a German radio interview. Meanwhile, in Iraq, citizens are preparing for war. More than 1 million Iraqis fled their homes in Baghdad as part of evacuation drills designed to prepare citizens for an attack. Many people were taken outside the city. Others ran to shelters and cellars, leaving the streets deserted. Meanwhile, troop morale is up a bit tonight in Saudi Arabia following a visit from Pentagon brass. Secretary of Defense Dick Cheney and Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff General Colin Powell stopped in today to reassure the troops about U.S. military strength. General Powell promised them if we go to war, we'll win.
Plans we've made involve an air-land-sea campaign. When we launch it, we will launch it violently. We will launch it in a way that will make it decisive so that we can get it over as quickly as possible, and there's no question who won when it's over, so that we can then start the process of rebuilding Kuwait and sending our forces back home.
Troops say they hope the whole affair is over soon so they can go home to celebrate a belated Christmas with their families. For now, they're doing the best they can with makeshift decorations and ornaments and wishes for better holidays to come. Entertainer Bob Hope plans to spend yet another Christmas entertaining American troops, this time in the Middle East. Today, he was rehearsing a show with actress Ann Jillian. The troupe will head out for the Middle East this weekend. The exact itinerary has not been disclosed. Others involved in this year's special are the Pointer Sisters, Marie Osmond, and baseball great Johnny Bench.
Detroit baseball great Ernie Harwell is still on the minds of the Tiger fans tonight. The Tiger Stadium fan club held a news conference to let Harwell know they are behind him 100%. The group wants everyone to boycott Tigers opening day and also Domino's Pizza, but they also had a message for Tom Monahan.
Please, Mr. Monahan, sell the team to someone who is responsive, to someone who can provide the right direction for the Tigers. And the right direction, we believe, is in the direction of the people.
Harwell says he doesn't support any protest against the Tigers, but the fan club members say they're obligated to do what they feel is morally right. Bo Schembechler is getting heat from more than just Detroiters for his decision to fire Ernie Harwell. The fans are angry across the state, including in Grand Rapids. Rogers Department Store in Grand Rapids erected a billboard to show it's supporting Ernie and not Bo. And an unofficial survey conducted by a Grand Rapids TV station showed that 97% of the fans there think the Tigers made a bad call in firing Ernie.
Ooh. Bo's going to wish he was back in football soon. You know that?
I think he already does wish
that. It was
that.
easier on the sidelines up there.
Well, Friday night is here, and that means only one thing. Bernie will be up next with his Pro Picks.
And the Pistons beat up on the Atlanta Hawks at the Palace tonight, we're glad to tell you. Sports is next, and later a ton of tubas play a tribute to Christmas.
If you missed the last Final Jeopardy, here's your chance to play along at home.
This 1950 film was the only Best Picture that featured Marilyn Monroe. She played an actress.
Stay tuned. We'll be back with the Final Jeopardy question in just a moment.
DHL announces 1,466 flights daily. One flight every 58 seconds. The fastest service to more countries in the world of any air carrier. One restriction applies. You have to be a package. DHL, faster to more of the world.
For the latest winning lottery numbers, call the official lottery line, 1-976-2020.
Not long ago, when the goldfish spilled, this was the picker-upper. Today, the Hoover double-duty wet and dry hand vac picks up dry and picks up wet with ease. Pick up the double-duty wet and dry hand vac. Hoover invented it.
On the last Final Jeopardy,
this 1950 film was the only Best Picture that featured Marilyn Monroe. She played an actress. What is all about Eve? Correct.
Watch Jeopardy weeknights at 7:30 only on Channel 4.
Well, the Pistons are back on track finally. Although Chuck Daly will have to read about it in the paper tomorrow, won't he, Bernie?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, 3 days ago, you were a little worried about the
Yes,
Pistons.
I was.
Yeah. 2 convincing wins in a row, and you can put all those worries to rest. Second one came tonight as the Pistons ripped the Atlanta Hawks 113-87. Atlanta had won 5 straight coming in. We've got highlights. We'll start in the first quarter. Pistons with the ball. It'll be Isaiah Thomas to Dennis Rodman. Rodman wide open with a one-handed slam after one. Pistons led at 31-24. Second quarter, Pistons work it. Bill Lambier misses from the corner, but William Bedford gets the rebound underneath. He slams it, and the Pistons led 44-41. Chuck Daly got thrown out of the game in the second quarter for arguing a call with Mike Mathis. He went shopping. Brendan Sir took over. Yeah, he had some late Christmas shopping. Later in the second, Isaiah to John Sally over John Contact for the slam at the half. Pistons led 56-50. Third quarter, Pistons explode on the run. Joe Dumars, watch the pass. Behind the back to John Sally for the slam. Pistons led it 66-54. Then at the end of the third, time running out, 1 second left. James Edwards launches the three-pointer that goes. He had 24. Pistons crushed the Atlanta Hawks 113-87 without Chuck Daly.
Different ball game, right? I need a new clothes deal now. He said I should take it, and then he'd have the good lines later. I thought, we caught them on a good night. They were on the road till about 3:30 today, and, we played good enough to win. Well, I'll see you.
Left him right there in the lurch. Meanwhile, in Chicago tonight, Bulls beat the Lakers 114-103. Bulls remain even with the Pistons in the Central Division. We've got highlights. We'll start in the first quarter. Lakers with the ball. Michael Thompson and Magic to AC Green for the slam. Lakers led it 28-27. Fourth quarter, Lakers with the ball again. But Horace Grant comes up with a big block there on Michael Thompson. Dennis Hobson to Scottie Pippen. Pippen for the monster slam. He had 28. Bulls led it 97-89. Later in the fourth, Bulls with the ball. John Paxson finds Michael Jordan. Jordan loses it, gets it back, hits the reverse layup. He had 33. Bulls beat the Lakers 114-103. Elsewhere, Milwaukee lost to Dallas 103-89, so the Pistons are a game back. Philadelphia beats Miami by 24. New Jersey by 8 over Cleveland. Charlotte loses to Indiana by 23. First win for Bob Hill. And the Knicks lose to Washington 87-85. Lions travel to Green Bay tomorrow to face the Packers. Detroit favored by 3. It should be cold at Lambeau Field, but the Lions don't care. They are on a mission to make Barry Sanders the leading rusher in the NFL. Right now, he is 72 yards behind Marion Butts of San Diego, but Butts is hurting, and Sanders' offensive line will be leading the way.
It's not really too many things that offensive linemen can really hang their hats on. You can't, you don't see a lot of the good things that we do, but Barry's success, is a reflection of our success.
He does everything. He'll give you a shirt off his back for you, and he's just a great guy. I can't say enough about Barry.
I'm sure they probably want him more so than I do, and I respect him for that. Not many guys want to go out of their way to see other people achieve things like that.
Game time tomorrow in Green Bay, 12:30. Finally, it's Friday. Time once again. Bro picks. The holiday's near. We'll begin with the game of the week. Dolphins against the Bills in Buffalo. Bills favored by 3.5, even though Jim Kelly is out. Frank Reich is his replacement. Last year when Kelly was out for 3 games, Reich was his replacement. Bills won all 3. They'll do the same tomorrow. They beat Miami. 30-17. Gifts. My goodness. You're too good to me. All right. Next upset of the week comes in Atlanta, where the Falcons host the LA Rams. Rams are favored by 3, but they have no shot at the playoffs, and they couldn't care less about this game. It means more to the Falcons, who are 3-11 on the year. Atlanta beats the Rams 26-17. There's something in there. It hurts. All right, we've hit 9 straight of these. All right, finally, the Lions against the Packers in Green Bay tomorrow. Lions are favored by 3. Blair Keel starts for the Pack. Green Bay still has a shot at the playoffs. The Lions do not. That means all the incentive belongs to the Packers. But we've never cared about incentive here. Lions beat the Packers 31-19. Thank you so much. I honestly think that game, I think the Lions will easily win that game.
You do?
I really do.
I got a hunch, too. I think you're right.
I think
you're
so.
right.
They really want that Russian title for Sanders, too.
That's right. As long as there's no snow tomorrow. Let's have no snow in Green Bay.
Again, Chuck sends me an empty box.
Thank you, Bertie. They're tossing gifts at you again. You think the fog is bad? Wait till the freezing rain hits. Chuck is next with a weekend forecast.
On the next Inside Edition, they're sold as toys, but they can kill.
He said he was shot with a BB, and I wasn't expecting, a hole.
Nobody thinks of a BB gun as something that's going to kill somebody.
Inside Edition investigates a deadly toy. Plus, bad plywood used by some builders can cost you.
We really don't feel we can sell our home in the condition that it's in.
Inside Edition. On the inside, it's a whole different story.
Monday at 4:30 only on Channel 4.
Is a Lotto 47 subscription really the gift that dreams are made of? We gave Mr. Green a Lotto subscription for a chance to win millions year-round, while giving Mr. Fowler this rather fashionable tie. Now Mr. Green dreams of being rich, while Mr. Fowler continues to have more typical dreams, albeit with a very nice tie. So look for this display at your lottery retailer and give a Lotto 47 subscription. Consider the alternative.
Before we go to the weather, we're going to talk a little bit about chilled milk. Some dairy farmers are trying to keep their cows warm this winter. Farmers are using cow braziers to keep their animals happy. Yes, it seems that experts have warned if a cold cow isn't comfortable, milk production will suffer. The bras are actually nylon mesh udder supports. Farmers use the braziers and hair dryers to keep their herds from utterly freezing.
Gosh, it's interesting what you learn on the Slate Newscast.
That high-tech stuff is too much, isn't it? Huh?
Just think, if I would have been late, I would have missed that.
That's right.
We've got what I call Vincent Price movie weather outside. Really?
Yeah,
really
it
gets
scarier, too.
Yeah, you need to be very careful out there because there's still some standing water in places from all the rain we got today, and of course there's going to be more rain overnight and the fog with reduced visibilities. Let's go to our holiday lights. Can we see through the fog? Yes. Tell me someone didn't plan this. From cow bras to Heffernans. Oh, come on. The Heffernans in Novi. Little drizzle looks like coming down there, but we did shoot through the fog, and the lights look rather nice. Must have gotten there before visibility's dropped a lot, but there's a little fog in the air. We thank them for duking up the house for the year. Probably didn't do it just for us, though, don't you think? All right, take a look now at highs and lows. 52 the high. That's actually the current reading. 42 the low. Normals are 34 and 20. Outside now, again, 52. We've got fog. Visibility 3/16 of a mile. Very low out there. Humidity at 96%. Barometric pressure is now rising, and winds are blowing out of the south at 8 miles per hour. 52 degrees for us, but there's quite a contrast around the region. 46 already cooler at Muskegon. Traverse City at 40. Marquette 32. Alpena 39. Just about every official reporting station in the state is reporting dense fog. Satellite picture. Lots of cloudiness all across the region, and there's plenty of action out of those clouds. Down south, rough weather, severe weather, tornadic activity, severe thunderstorms, heavy rains. You can see that now in the green shaded area. Complicated looking weather map. Let me tell you what we have. First of all, this is the leading edge of the colder air. Back behind it, the orange is freezing rain, the white is snow. There's a lot of that in the air, but the problem for us is the cold air coming in by late in the afternoon, early evening tomorrow. As that happens, what moisture is left could give us a little bit of a problem with freezing rain, sleet, and a little light snow tomorrow night, and then into the day on Sunday, we'll have a few more snow showers as well. Tonight, we'll be on the warm side. Temperatures, though, below freezing west of Lake Michigan, below zero farther westward, and it does look like a very cold day tomorrow. In Detroit, the high about 53, but falling from there. Look at Chicago, about half of where they were today. 25 for their high temperature, some snow in the air, and again, right in between as that front is coming in, there could even be freezing rain by Sunday for us. That's the high, 25 degrees and a few snow showers. Here's your forecast then right through the holiday. Tonight, around 50 degrees, dense fog, and again, there's an advisory for that. Tomorrow, the high, 53, but falling, turning much colder as the wind shift by afternoon, late afternoon, as we head for Sunday, 25 with snow showers. Get a load of this. These are high temperatures. Monday, 21, partly sunny. Tuesday, Christmas Day, the high, 16. Wednesday, 12 above for a high. And as you're coming home from Grandma's house traveling, make sure you put blankets in the car. If you have car trouble, that's dangerous.
Good idea.
That is a good point.
Have a safe holiday.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Jeff.
Okay.
Some holiday revelers got to hear some pa-pas instead of fa-la-la-la-las for their sounds of Christmas. 100 tuba players from all around the country entertained the lunchtime listeners at CNN Center in Atlanta. The celebration was appropriately named the Tuba Christmas, and this is the third time the crowds have been blown over by this Yuletide brass performance. In one place.
I have never. That's going to be tough on your lips if you're doing We Wish You a Merry Christmas.
That's the Nightbeat for this Friday. Thanks for joining us. Our next complete report tomorrow morning at 6 o'clock.
Have a good weekend, everybody.